great late long.
Welcome to our coverage of the Asia Pacific Rally Championship and the International Rally of Queensland, the Australian round, an event based in Maroochydore on the Sunshine Coast. With the rally set near the Pacific Ocean, it's only fitting that the first duty for the drivers and co-drivers is an early morning photo shoot at Alexander Beach. It's an opportunity to kickstart the event with local media and a very supportive local council.
And 1, 2, yeah, rally
Following the soft sand of the beach, it's time to go check out the hard gravel surfaces in the forests. Testing providing an opportunity for all the drivers and teams to get a taste of what's to come in the rally itself. With testing done, it's time for recce, where the drivers and co-drivers write their pace notes. And it's wet, very wet. And even though much of the surface has a hard base, the top layer becomes very slippery. This event could be very interesting. Shakedown follows, another opportunity to test and check the cars. It's also the chance for friends, family and sponsors to have a taste of riding in a rally car, getting sideways on narrow, slippery tracks. These easy racing guests are having a ball, riding in Mike Young's Subaru Impreza. Following shakedown, it's time for the start ceremony on the waterfront in Maroochydore, giving fans the chance to check out the rally cars close up. Here too we catch up with each of the APRC drivers, starting with first round winner Gaurav Gill from India. He's happy to be here.
Beautiful city, beautiful town, just by the sea. It's good to be here. Probably one of the most unpredictable events of the year, probably. Quite like Malaysia, you never know when it's going to rain, when it's going to be dry, when the sun's out.
After finishing on the podium in New Zealand, young German driver Fabian Krime is looking forward to his second gravel event and a new challenge.
I would say the roads are very different from New Zealand to here, and yeah, the grip is, I think, here not so much because the weather forecast looks not so good. I think it will be very, very wet. And yeah, it's very important for me to see the finish line.
It's New Zealand driver Mike Young's fifth time at Rally Queensland, and he's very well aware of what lies ahead.
Being smart is going to be the key here. It's sort of been dry today, so tomorrow could be wet in places and then dry in others. So that's going to sort of play with your mind a bit, and you might think there's going to be grip, but there isn't. So I think tomorrow a sort of wait and see approach and just sort of check the notes for the first pass.
India's Sanjay Takali has a clear plan for his second event of the year.
Yes, as I said, I want to finish this event and get some points on the board. I didn't finish in New Zealand, so I'll be under pressure to drive. So maybe I'll compromise on speed, but the most important for me is to finish this rally. I can't have 2 DNF in a row. I cannot have.
Australian Nathan Quinn is a former APRC campaigner making a welcome return to the competition. He's followed over the ramp by Japanese Atsushi Masamura, a regular entrant in Australian rallies. Tackling the event in a normally aspirated Subaru is Australian driver Mark Beard. After a DNF in New Zealand, Fuyuhiko Takahashi from Japan is another driver aiming for a finish. After last night's opening ceremony in Maroochydore near the ocean, the field has an early drive inland to the small town of Imbil, where the International Rally of Queensland will be based over the next 2 days. Ahead are 120 kilometres of special stages in the Imbil forests, and after recent rain, it's going to be an interesting challenge for the competitors.
3, 2, 1, go, 250, 5 minus left over crest, 120.
Championship leader Gill is the first to start, and as the MRF Skoda races through the trees on the Kandanga first stage, the roads are best described as greasy and unpredictable. At least their pace notes were made in the rain, so co-driver Glenn McNeil is able to warn Gill where it'll probably be slippery.
Narrow exit to medium, 5 right, brake into 2 plus left in very slippy exit. Into 3 right late, flat.
Gill wins the 14-kilometre stage by a whopping 29 seconds.
Flat 100.
The MRF Skoda driver continues his winning way on stage 2, Million, adding a further 8 seconds to his lead. Thus, the lead gap is already out to 37 seconds. Teammate Crime is holding second in his MRF Skoda. It's been a cautious start on the slippery stage 1 from the young German driver, but with slightly drier conditions and a bit more grip on the next test, he gains the confidence to push a little harder.
Links 4 plus über Kuppe.
Third after 2 stages is local favourite Quinn in his Group N Mitsubishi Evo 9. The Australian is just 0.9 of a second slower than Crime on stage 1 and then falls away slightly on Million when the German ups the pace. But the gap from second to third is still just 5 seconds. It hasn't been a happy start though for Young in the Cusco Easy Racing Subaru. Opting to go for slightly softer tyres proves to be the wrong move, with conditions drier than expected, and he drops 56 seconds behind leader Gill and 13 seconds behind Group N rival Quinn. Rounding out the top 5 after 2 stages is Atsushi Masamura in his new Mitsubishi Evo 10. There's a battle for 6th place with Mark Baird in his non-turbo Subaru holding the place by just 1 second from Sanjay Takali in his turbocharged version. After the break, the roads start drying and the cars start flying. During stage 3 and 4 of the International Rally of Queensland, Gill continues to build on his lead. While it is only his second event in the new Skoda Fabia R5, the MRF driver does know the Queensland roads very well, and with a good lead is able to back off when needed. A good example is this jump on stage 4, where Gill normally would fly. His approach is very conservative.
30.
Compare that to Gill's Skoda teammate Crime, pushing a lot harder. The German driver not only takes out our ground camera, he also makes a very heavy landing that wipes off a piece of the Fabia's nose. The damage is minor, but what is a problem is that Crime is losing more time to Gill. The gap after 4 stages is out to 1 minute and 8 seconds when we catch up with Fabian at lunchtime service.
Fabian, I've got something for you.
Oh, I think something for my front bumper.
yeah, it's a good jump.
Yeah, that was unfortunately a bit too hard.
All right, so how's the morning gone for you?
It was very, very difficult for us because it's another kind of rally like in Australia, in New Zealand. It's very narrow and quite fast and in some places very slippery. And yeah, like I said, we have not the best pace notes at the moment, and yeah, the feeling is not so good, but we are not unhappy at the moment.
With a good lead, Gill is feeling comfortable.
It's been a good morning. More grip than what I anticipated, actually. Far better. It's good that it's actually quite consistent. Right from the start of the stages to, even under the trees. It's obviously a little more slippery under the trees, but it's been good. It's got good, consistent, not so much grip, but yeah, there's decent grip out there.
This afternoon, you've made changes to the car.
Yeah, of course we have to now because it's getting drier and drier. So as it dries out, it gets rougher and harder. So I need to change the setup a little more, change the tires, change a lot of things, get some more grip out of the tires and the suspension. Hopefully it should be good, and hopefully the rain stays away.
150.
The battle for third place has intensified, with Quinn losing time on stage 4 with a turbo boost problem. Young, on the other hand, loves the stage. It's one where he can use the power of the Subaru on some high-speed straights. At the finish, he's just 1 second slower than Crime and cuts the gap to Quinn to just 3 seconds. Now, with some harder tyres, he's looking forward to the afternoon.
50.
Yeah, everything's good with the car. We'll make a few suspension changes and they'll sort of suit me a bit better. I suppose I've used the morning just to sort of ease my way back into it. That first stage we really just tiptoed through just to get the feeling back. So we'll go out this afternoon with the good tyres and have a good go.
Quinn has enjoyed the competition and is hoping his crew can fix his turbo problem.
Yeah, it was a pretty good battle this morning. We lost a lot in the last stage. We got a couple of little problems with losing boost for some reason, so but it's been good. It's been good fun. Hopefully we can fix it and have a bit more play this afternoon.
After a good performance through the morning, Masamura is in 5th place, 4 minutes ahead of 6th place Beard.
Good condition. I have very good condition. I'm very enjoying now. Driving is no bad and no good. I'm standard pace now.
Takali loses out to Beard on stage 4 and drops to 7th. However, the Cusco driver is only 3 seconds behind and is confident he can get the spot back in the afternoon.
Can push a bit, I think so, because it's more drier. Now we know where it's dried up, so we can just change a bit in notes and all. And I think we can go a bit fast, I think.
Break 3 minus right long.
With a repeat run over the same stages in the afternoon, and with the sun continuing to shine, as predicted, the road surface gets harder and faster, but also sometimes rougher.
Plus 40. Grid middle
On the
20.
first stage of the afternoon, Kandanga, it's the 2 Cusco cars on the move up the order, with Young jumping into 3rd place.
9 left. Then 8 left minus. Very long.
While teammate Takali improves to 6th in his Subaru. He's having a tight battle with Beard, and on the very next stage, Million, with its flowing ridgetop roads, Takali loses time, allowing local man Beard to retake 6th. Behind them is Takahashi. After his DNF here last year and the last round in New Zealand, he's determined to finish this event. At the front of the field, Gill continues his winning ways, pushing hard on stage 5 to move a further 14 seconds in front, allowing him to then back off a bit on the middle 2 tests, stages 6 and 7. On the final stage of the day, the 27-kilometre cutters, Gill puts the hammer down again, winning the stage by 19 seconds and increasing his lead on teammate Crime to 1 minute 49 seconds.
400.
The German driver has concentrated on sticking to his own pace, enjoying the drying roads and happy that he is at least close to his teammates' pace on 2 of the stages.
9 right down, 120.
Safe in 3rd is Young, Second fastest on the final stage to finish the day 34 seconds behind Crime and 32 seconds ahead of Group N rival Quinn.
Left long 100.
With a lack of turbo boost, Quinn has continued to lose time through the afternoon and is hoping that the issue can be fixed during the 45-minute evening service. Mitsubishi driver Masamura finishes day 1 in 5th, and after a trouble-free run, he's over 6 minutes ahead of 6th place Beard. As the competitors start arriving back at Imbil, we catch up with the drivers.
Great day, couldn't be better actually. No dramas, no problems. We drove fast in the morning. We had a good lead. We made a good position for ourselves for the day. It's absolutely treacherous inside some places now. It's so rough that literally I am braking to go over the bumps because this car is not, it doesn't like to go flat out over rough stuff right now with the setup that we're running.
Yeah, it was much drier than in the loop before. The feeling was much better than in the morning loop. The pace notes also. And yeah, it was very good. We have, or we could go the same speed like off on 2 stages, and that makes us very happy.
Like better afternoon for you?
Yeah, a lot better. Just a change of tyres just made it so much better, gave me a lot of confidence, and we pushed on this afternoon and set some pretty good times. We're pretty close to the R5s in most of the stages, and we've built a gap over Quinny, so that's been quite good.
Yeah, he got us for sure, but we're still struggling with the boost now, so I don't know what we're going to do, but in the short stages it's fine, so just throw us more short stages and we'll have a good battle, but in the longer stages, the faster stages, we're really struggling, so yeah, it doesn't matter, that's part of the game, but we'll change some things again tonight and see how we go, and if it doesn't work, we'll just go and have some drinks at the pub.
Yes, very, very enjoying, but course is very hard. I'm a little bit tired.
Yes, I think I was very happy I finished the whole day today, and I bettered my own timings by 2 minutes. I was surprised myself. So I just pushed a bit little. It was drier, and it gave me the confidence. So the way I said I want to finish, but I didn't push so hard, but I still want to finish this rally.
Yeah, very difficult in the morning, and special stage 1 and 2 is very sweepy, and I couldn't concentration to the course. But after lunch, I refresh and enjoy this rally. Yeah.
The day 1 results show Gill's huge lead on teammate Crime, while just over a minute covers 2nd to 4th places. Even with the weather expected to turn nasty tomorrow, Gill is not thinking of backing off.
Yeah, but the tricky thing is that in the wet you can't really relax. If you tend to pull back, then you can pick up a lot of mistakes, because with this car, the lock diff, it's not very happy going through the wet stuff when you're off the throttle. You need to create grip, in the wet stuff. Otherwise, you'll be very slow, or you'll probably just go off.
After the break, the weatherman has it right. Roads turn into rivers and conditions turn treacherous for the drivers. Day 2 in the International Rally of Queensland, and the storm clouds are gathering. According to the rain radar, heavy rain is coming.
Fairly extensive, and the yellow is quite heavy, and the blue as well is the darker blue is obviously pretty heavy as well. So yeah, it's a couple of hours away from us at the moment, but it might get interesting about 10:30, 11 o'clock, which could be fun.
With the roads expected to get very slippery, choosing the right tyres is crucial.
There's a lot of rain on the way, so we're going on the safety side. It's not a matter of if the rain comes, it's when. So working on theory, it's probably going to get us sometime in the first loop of stages. So you're just going out in a full cut tyre for the first loop. They've taken out a couple of kilometres out of the morning loop, but yeah, there's a lot of fast public stuff, which is really good. But when you turn off onto the goat tracks, it's just diabolical. So not something to look forward to if you're a driver, I think.
4, 3, 2, 1, go. 5 links, 5 minus lang.
We join Fabian Crime and co-driver Frank Christian as they tackle the first of the stages. The same roads as yesterday, but this time driven in the other direction. With the rain getting heavier, the conditions are treacherous. Even with the half spin, Crime wins stage 11 by 10 seconds. Second fastest is Young in his Group N Subaru, loving the slippery conditions and posting top 3 times through the rest of the morning. Gill is third quickest on stage 9, so it's a cautious start from him. But then the MRF driver is fastest on the next test, a shortened stage 12. He ups the pace on the next stages too, finishing the morning set of stages with his lead now out to just over 2 minutes. The big mover in the morning is Takahashi. On stage 10, he moves from last place to 6th. And he proves just how much he loves these slippery conditions by charging to 4th fastest on the final stage of the morning. Beard lacks the power of the other drivers in their turbocharged Subarus, but he's able to hang on to his 7th place in the pouring rain. Takali, though, has a torrid time in the mud, his difficulties compounded by a broken drive shaft that slows him on stage 12 and drops him back to 8th. Another competitor with problems is Quinn, also breaking a drive shaft on stage 9. With front-wheel drive only and so little traction, the Australian driver whacks a tree. He and co-driver David Calder struggle on with the Mitsubishi sounding very rough, and by the end of the morning they've dropped over 6 minutes behind third-place Young. Luckily they hang on to 4th. Also loving the wet conditions is Masamura, 5th overall and catching 4th place Quinn on each stage. However, the gap is still over 5 minutes by the finish of the morning loop. Back at a very wet Imbil service park, there's an opportunity for repairs to Takali's car with its broken drive shaft, and to do some panel beating on Quinn's Mitsubishi. The weather worsens during the scheduled break, and the organisers make the call to cancel all 4 afternoon stages and run just a 1 kilometre blast in order to have clocked enough kilometres to award all finishers full points. And while it is only a short stage and will make little difference to the positions, the 2 young guns, Crime and Young, go all out to win the stage. Despite the pouring rain, Crime has his MRF Skoda flying, crossing the finish line in 42.7 seconds.
Right, very long in 100.
Young pushes very hard too.
8 left to finish. 70. Good work.
He's just a 1/10 of a second slower.
Oh, good. Cheers, mate.
Gill, on the other hand, knows this is a stage where he could lose it all and decides on a more conservative approach. Third quickest is fast enough, and he and co-driver Glenn McNeil can celebrate their 2nd win of the season.
Good job, mate. Good job.
Oh yeah, I think one of the most difficult events in years, honestly, I would say. I always thought that Malaysia is probably the most difficult one of the lot, but this has proven Malaysia wrong, I'm sure.
Now on the last stage, yeah, we haven't seen anything because the Visha was too slow for this heavy rain. But at the end, we are very happy with this Rally of Queensland.
Pretty happy with the pace. Taking a few second places was quite good against the R5 cars, especially in our Group N car. That's pretty good, and hopefully into the future we can build on that and maybe take a few more stage wins.
I had a lot of plans for this rally, and when you very badly want to do something and you get everything correct and all, something happens in the rally. You know better than me. Something will happen, and I broke the drive shaft, right? So breaking a drive shaft is like picking up a puncture, you know that. Nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it.
As I said, we're very, very happy with where we finished, and it was great to be part of the APRC family, and that's what that's what I found absolutely exciting.
A wrap-up of the results sees Gill win by nearly 2 minutes. The mover on day 2 is Takahashi, who slots into 6th. The Worth Cup points table reflects the results from the first 2 rounds, with Gill now holding a 16-point advantage on teammate Crime. And that wraps up the Australian round of the Asia Pacific Rally Championship, an event that will be remembered for the rain. But when you're soaked in champagne, what does that matter?
4, 3, 2, 1. Into right leg long.